Hey guys, welcome back to Chicago Reacts, your favorite channel on YouTube. Ideally, I am Zach. I'm an actor here in the city of Chicago, and as always, I find myself sitting next to my compatriot, my compadre, and this is the magnificent, the marvelous.
I'm Michael, everybody. I'm also an actor here in the city of Chicago, and we are back today. We are reacting to From the Depths, Somali Pirate Simulator by Martincitopants.
Martin does. He sees those pants.
See the pants.
He see the pants. If you guys like the video, feel free to actually hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like to see this content on the daily. New videos are posted every single day by multiple different reactors, so you can really find your niche here. Also, feel free to check out some of the exciting other stuff that we have going on. Chicago Plays, come hang out with us on Twitch. We've been having a blast with that, and getting to know you guys as well has just been so cool. And then
we've been loving Chicago Reacts movies and TV. We are dropping Band of Brothers right now, and Witcher 2, Season 2, our reaction to that should be coming out soon. So hop over to that channel. Again, links are in the description down below. With that,
Somali Pirates.
Pirates.
Somali Pirate Simulator.
Let's check it out. All right.
Greetings, my fellow land haters.
Greetings,
Today we'll be looking at From the Depths, a game entirely focused on the construction and combat of boats, planes, and other interesting vehicles.
Oh, cool.
You play as a young robotic Somali pirate. After the Great Automation Revolution takes place, as prophesied by Democratic Party candidate Andrew Yang, all piracy operations have made the economic decision to replace humans with cheaper machine labor. Abdul is working in collaboration with Lockheed Martin and has successfully lobbied the United States government into endless naval warfare, just like the other warfare, but much more expensive. Our brave Somalian will use his unequaled knowledge of David Beckham studies to construct a fleet of functioning vessels to spread his influence and expand his empire. The main campaign is set in
Neater.
There are 8 factions fighting for control of Nita's Water,
Oh, cool.
the Deepwater Guard, your run-of-the-mill pirates in small, shitty wooden craft. Their ass gets beat by every other faction. The Onyx Watch.
Oh, good.
Lots of their ships resemble fortresses. So basically...
That's a cool looking ship, though.
Yeah, Sea
White
Dwarfs.
Sorry, who? Twin Guard. A couple of sentient AI with highly questionable, definitely not incestual motives. Lightning Hoods. They like lasers. Steel Striders. Objectively the best faction with some very well-made, cool-looking boats.
Yeah, those are
Grey
just
Talons.
freaking...
Sky Dwarves.
What?
And Scarlet Dawn. The very definition of a pussy shit faction that won't get down to brawl. Although they do have this pretty cool satellite that sits above enemy vessels and...
It's like an octopus.
Still pussy shit.
That looks like an octopus, dude. That's
pretty,
so cool.
Pretty good way to do it.
Abdul starts with a state-sponsored Somalian assault dinghy, a starter fortress, and grand East African ambitions. Your goal? Completely control the Gulf of Aden to impose a hefty tariff of $20 US per vessel, enough to retire to a life of luxury in your great nation.
Oh, God.
Oh,
I'll
man.
be covering the campaign today because it's definitely the most interesting part of the game. The goal of the campaign is to destroy all other factions and completely control the map. To do this, you need to build and pilot vehicles that can locate, fight, and destroy the enemy, whether they be in the air, land, or on water. If you want to start playing this game, I would recommend first sitting through an undergraduate's degree's worth of tutorials.
Oh,
Press
jeez.
right bracket by pressing Alt-N. Open the inventory by pressing left click. Open the inventory by pressing left click to put the wrong block has been placed. You must remove it. Left click to place the block. Open the inventory by pressing.
This will allow you to build a boat that theoretically won't capsize. Yep, that worked well. The game isn't one of these finely crafted masterpieces that builds on aspects you've learned throughout the playthrough, slowly introducing you to new mechanics and features only when you're ready for them. Instead, From the Depths takes the Darwinian approach of just killing you over and over until you learn. The game has less of a learning curve and more of a learning cliff, on fire and covered in bears. As is probably obvious by now, From the Depths is about building vehicles. Mostly ships, but others are definitely possible. The difficulty in mastering this game is in how you build a ship's various subsystems, how they synergize, and making them cost effective. Firstly, we need a hull. For a first ship, wood will do. Power. I have no idea how to build an engine, so I'll just get a prefab one and slap that boy in there. Propulsion and control. Get some propellers and coat the ship in speed. I'll add a rudder and a temporary wheel to give our creation a quick test drive.
Woo! Oh.
Next up, we'll add weapons, targeting components, AI, and ammo storage.
There we go.
Turret? Yes.
Ammo
Missiles.
storage.
Yeah.
Just
Big missiles.
stacked
Also
high.
yes. But small. Small missile turret. Most definitely. This is all great, but the weapons need an AI for control and targeting, so we'll build a mainframe and some local weapons computers. Alright, let's test our attack beam.
See, these games are cool. Like the ones that like they have you build something really complex within the actual thing that you're building. Like that's cool. Like, and when people play games like this, the sort of the extraneous effects of that, like it teaches people like how to build computers like that. I just think that's so cool. Like by playing a game, you're also developing other skills that you might not even realize at the time of playing it. But
it's teaching you how like things sequence together. It's like using like a certain way of like thinking that is helpful in other real life settings.
Exactly. And I'm finding I'm appreciating that more and more of these as we watch more and more of these simulators. And like in this session we also watched Sesnitak play Kenshi, and like how nations work, how building outposts, and like it's like that way of thinking, that the intelligence sort of that you develop as a result of playing all these different games and divulging yourself into the world is really cool. And it's something that I don't think a lot of people and gamers appreciate. So I think
it's fun. It's a fun environment to like iterate and fail and repeat and like, well, hopefully not repeat, fail and iterate and
the Darwinian approach too. Of like you learn through failure, and that's
this doesn't work. I got destroyed. Let's see if this works, and like continuing to work on it. So
video games teaching very valuable life skills. So for all the video game haters out there,
he goes. Can he shoot? Yep. Can he do it on his own? Oh, fuck.
Uh-oh.
He's drunk. We've forgotten to add targeting components, so we'll add some rangefinders and some spy cameras. We'll make some redundant targeting systems because they're pretty vulnerable. Very good. Finally, we need ammo storage and production so we don't run out of shoots too soon. Just like your own ammo production. The ammo in From the Depths is particularly vulnerable to sudden, violent explosions, so coat it in armor and your love.
And it's still made out of wood. Is it even going to be able to float? It's so low in the water.
The game is still very broken, so I'd recommend giving it a thorough testing in the creative editor. Our brave bean can dispatch unarmored deepwater guard ships quite easily. Very good.
It's sinking.
Once you're satisfied with your very hard work, it's time for...
Here we go.
The time has come, and our brave Somalian is about to embark on his great crusade. As you can probably see, the map is very dark around our territory. We can either accept this fact and use your boats to explore manually like a peasant, or make use of your Lockheed connections and lobby your local governing body into granting you a giant spy antenna. Make sure to build this antenna as high as possible. This is the big brain move and is highly recommended. Now that you have successfully launched your privacy violation surveillance program,
what is that?
You can see where they're all hiding, and you can infiltrate their mildly compromising browser history. From here, we have a few options. Option 1, wait for them to come to attack. This is inevitable, but also very boring. Pros, it's a self-defense scenario, and is fully protected by international law if you simply say, "Well, you mate, he started it." Oh, fair enough, mate. Cons. Why wait? Option 2. Launch an ethically dubious first strike against their assault dinghies. Pros. Big balls move. Cons. Violates international law. But really, that's more of a pro. Option 3. Run away. I choose option 2.
Yes.
Violence is always the answer.
Oh.
Oh, shit!
Did it work?
Our attack bean is victorious, and a courageous sailor has won his first battle. It will not be his last. As we can see, our widespread surveillance
Foreshadowing.
program helped locate and eliminate the terrorist threat. Tax dollars well spent. Moving on from our starter fortress, we will now go expand our territory to the next materials node and extract the highly valuable black gold. Because our enemies didn't use incognito mode, their highly sensitive data and whereabouts are precisely known. With this information, we can launch an attack. This time, we're going to build a specially designed ship for our nefarious Somali needs. I'd like to take it back to our roots and directly board the enemy with a small pirate vehicle.
What?
Now, getting close to hostile boats with weapons is very hard in the classic Somali assault thinking, so we won't be using that. Instead, we'll take a page out of the Navy SEALs book and stealthily infiltrate via the water. I'll build a tiny
You can
submarine
create a
that can quickly
submarine?
cruise up to an enemy vessel and get inside.
Oh.
So, we go into battle, use our attack bean as bait, and launch our piracy operation.
That is crazy.
That's wicked cool.
What?
This is wildly successful, netting us a great bounty in materials and hostage AIs. Excellent. Another victory for the bean. What's next? Another group of enemies. This shouldn't be a problem.
Oh.
Oh. So, now you get the general idea of From the Depths. Make boats, kill shit, and then make more boats. However, there is also the very important topic of
Aesthetics.
Yes.
the game allows sharing of vehicles, and as a result, many people have made some truly wild shit on the Steam Workshop. This guy made a
Yes.
scale replica of the USS Iowa. This
What?
dude made a very solid replica of the USS Missouri. This fucking guy made a giant goddamn robot. And this guy
What
made a
the
Titan from Warhammer 40k.
Yes!
And these people all made
That looks
replicas
so
of the Imperial
cool.
Japanese Navy's battleship,
Yamato.
the largest battleship ever built. Now these are quite cool, so I decided to build my own kooky contraption. Considering just how many people have made replicas of ships, I decided to give replicating a
Thanks.
historical ship a shot. Remember, the bigger, the better. So the final decision was on the Imperial Japanese Navy's battleship Yamato. The big lad. But I wasn't just going to make any run-of-the-mill Yamato replica.
Oh, yes.
No. I had to show up all the plebs who've built Yamato replicas before me. This had to be special. This had to be unique. This had to be large. So I made it twice as big. Here she
Yes.
500 meters long, a lot of blocks, whole lot of cubic meters, 3 very big guns, and many side guns. It may not be as
Yes.
pretty as other replicas, it may not be as accurate, but it's
Oh.
a truly large lad.
Oh.
You may be asking, why build this thing? That's a great question. For comparison, here is the HMS,
Ragnarök.
the one built by Roaz. Here is the Tia from the Steel Striders, and here is the normal-sized Yamato. Yeah,
Yes.
pretty large, eh? In fact, as far as I'm aware, this
Yeah,
is the
eh?
biggest replica ever built on the workshop. And as of recording, possibly not just the biggest replica, but the biggest boat too. I could be totally wrong, but I think that's pretty cool. Okay, there were some
Yes.
concessions in building this thing. 1. The cannons are definitely not to scale. Trust me, this is a good thing. The real boat had 3 460mm guns per turret. Doubling this would give us 3 920mm guns, which is really just disappointing for a ship this large. Instead, I went with 9 guns per turret, each of which is 2000mm. Much better. The real one had no railguns.
Holy.
As you can see, historical accuracy was my #1 priority. 2. The interior is left for interpretation. Just building the outside of this thing was painful enough, so I didn't bother, especially because the interior isn't really that impressive. 3. The big boy has some control and instability issues. Sometimes when I spawn it in, it decides to go full power in reverse and drag itself underwater. 4.
Oh no.
The back is a bit shit, but it's underwater anyway, so I don't care. Seriously, I'd like to make it look correct, but I lack the willpower to tear it down and try again. Go ahead and try for yourself, but you'll find that it is quite difficult and very, very large. 5. Because it's powered off of giant steam engines and fires a truly stupid amount of shells, it is very, very, very expensive to run. Serious props if you can get this thing running properly in campaign mode. 6. Lasers were not present on the real Yamato. 7.
How do you
The ship
know?
is basically unusable because of its absolutely massive internal volume. Every time a block gets destroyed, the game will pause for half a second while the air pump calculates the new force on the boat. It also just decides to completely crush my computer randomly and will drop FPS down to 2.
Oh.
Very nice.
nice.
8. The guns are cool looking and shoot pretty good, but a single Hesh round can delete the entire side of the boat's guns.
Oh.
Again, this is an internal problem, and I can't be bothered fixing it. End of concessions. Alright, now how about we take it for a little test drive? Starting off small. Big Yamato versus Marauder, the superior combat vessel.
Oh, God.
Oh yes. Yes.
Okay, that was easy.
Destruction at its
Big Yamato
best.
versus Onyx Watch Bulwark, their largest ship.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty easy too.
Oh,
Big Yamato
wow.
versus Tia, the most powerful conventional boat in the game.
Oh.
Alrighty.
Yes.
Big Yamato versus Flying Bullshit.
Oh. Yeah, that's
I feel like the flying stuff would be pretty weak. Like if you can
Yeah,
take out its
yeah. Don't
do that.
wings.
Yeah.
Finally,
I guess
Big
it's just
Yamato versus
fast.
Scarlet Dawn Flying Bullshit.
Dang.
It
It's
just
not even
disappeared.
getting close.
Oh,
Oh, there's a second one.
Everything except the
that-
giant lasers miss, but they're
that
so
is-
powerful that they can kill the ship on their own.
oh
Very
my
good.
God.
That's
there
very
she is.
fun
big
to
Yamato.
watch it crash into
Download
the
it.
sea.
Improve it. Please God, let me know if you've made it better. So, there we are. From the depths. The greatest Somali pirate simulator to ever exist.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't even
Yeah.
imagine how long that took you, Martin, to make that ship. Like, wow.
Yeah, that looks. Oh, that looks like a ton of fun. I think I played a game that was like a siege simulator,
A sea simulator?
like where you build siege engines.
Okay.
And that was fun. I'm trying to think of the name of it. I wonder if it might be Siege Simulator, but I don't think it is. But it kind of reminded me of that. Like the graphics were a little more, were a little improved, but this has so many like different aspects to it. It looks really fun.
Yeah,
I sort of like the throw you in the deep end and try to survive. I mean, from the depths. If you can't rise from the depths, you will never survive.
yeah, especially if you're trying to conquer the world.
Yes.
Like,
So it looks sick. Oh, I love that he talked about like all of the different creations that people make and what you can download through the Steam workshop, because
yeah, that was
that's such
that
a
was cool too.
that's such a cool thing with these like, you know, more off the beaten path games, you know, and especially with like mods and stuff like that. It's so fun to see what people do and you know do to break these games or up the ante and make it more fun. You know,
That Warhammer 40K Titan. Are you kidding? Are you
that's
kidding
so
me?
sick. I would love to see if that's like functional in the game. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
God,
Oh
man,
God.
it was fun to jump back in with Martincitopants too, because we haven't.
Yeah, we haven't watched a lot of him yet, but it like so far I've definitely enjoyed what we've seen, and yeah, it's just always cool to get a sense of newer games, and we have Martincitopants now on the list of people that can help
Yeah.
introduce us to some new IPs and new
jumping into what's out there.
Yeah. Like, what's not to love about that? Like,
Yeah.
Come on.
It'd be interesting. I know he did mostly naval stuff. It'd be interesting to see more of like aerial stuff or like just the other elements of the game. But very fun. I'm sure there's so much in that game with like building and like what guns you can build and research and development, all that stuff. But looks sick.
It
looks
really, really does. And kudos to you, Martin, for building the big Yamato.
Yeah, that looks sick.
That was freaking sick.
Let us know in the comment section if you've created anything crazy in From the Depths.
Yeah, that would actually be cool to see if any of you have played the game or has experience building something in that game. That would be really cool to see.
Yeah, and then otherwise, let us know if there's anything else you want us to check out. Hit that like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything else. Check out that links in the description so you can check out Chicago Plays and Chicago Reacts Movies and TV. And hey, if you want to follow up with what we're doing, I'm still performing with the Drunk Shakespeare Society, so go check that out if you want to get tickets if you're visiting Chicago. Zach's got some cool stuff. He's got a movie on Tubi.
Yeah, I do. Asbury Park, feel free to go check it out. It was like top recommended for a while, actually. I hear, yeah, guys, as always, it's such a treat to hang out with you. Hope to see you on Twitch sometime soon as well. And with that being said, I think it's time to bid you adieu. So we'll see you next time
on Chicago Reacts.
Bam.